and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we have another plant story, so history of various houseplants, and this one is the sensitive plant, also known botanically as Mimosa pudica. Really fun plant. This plant is also named the shy plant, touch me not, the tickle me plant, the sleepy plant, the humble plant. And the reason it has all these different names is because if you haven't seen it before, when you touch the foliage, it moves. And if you touch it enough, the plant will actually lay down on the ground as if maybe it was bowing down to you, hence the name, the humble plant. I do have a care video on this plant. I'll put a link for that below and any other videos I mention in this video. This one is about growing, it is not about growing these pretty plants, but about their history and some fun little information about them. So when you're showing someone your sensitive plant, you have a little more information. It's just really fun too, just to know these things. So this plant is native to the tropics of Central and South America. It's a creeping shrub or short-lived perennial that is commonly called, as mentioned, the sensitive plant. It gets that name from an intriguing leaf movement that occurs when it's touched, as I mentioned. The leaves of the sensitive plant are lined with tiny hairs that are highly responsive to touch, temperature, and motion. They fold inwards when triggered. Touching the plant causes a quick release of water from cells at the base of the leaves and leaf stalks, and the plant will look suddenly dead. However, it will come back after about 10 to 20 minutes, so perk back up again. It also closes its leaves at night. So botanists believe that this response, this laying down and movement of the plant is a response to, as a natural defense mechanism. The theory is it's to protect itself from herbivores who might eat the whole thing or climb on it. So the sensitive plant is used in Ayurveda medicine to relieve symptoms of illnesses and discomfort such as diarrhea, hemorrhoids, toothaches, sinus disorders, even snake bites. And it's also used to prevent soil erosion because it grows really rapidly in tropical climates, and it's actually considered invasive in tropical climates. But in terms of growing it as a house plant, you're fine. It's not going to take over your indoor garden by any means. So the fact that the many small leaflets and leaves of Mimosa pudica rapidly fold in on each other has piqued the interest of physiologists, of course botanists, even physicians, since the 1500s when it was first discovered and discovered in terms of put into start writings about it and that sort of thing. The really fascinating thing about this plant is that it actually contradicts something that was thought of before, and that is that animals will react to certain stimuli and learn. It's a more of a learned behavior, but that plants don't. And what they found was that the sensitive plant, I'm going to touch it now, see if it'll react here. The sensitive plant will stop reacting sometimes. So if you've had one and it's not laying down and reacting as much as it used to, it could be because the plants, now this one is cooperating with me, but it could be because the plant knows that you are not a danger. So this plant actually learns, which is fascinating. It is really fascinating. It's been fascinating researchers, as mentioned, botanists, and even physicians for a number of years. So the first known plant that actually learns, and whereas a dog will learn if I do such and such, I get a treat, etc. Plants, until this plant, that wasn't the case. So this plant is in the Botanical Register of 1825. English botanist John Linley describes a study in there by a French physiologist who investigated the animal-like nature of the sensitive plant even back then. and how when the leaves fold, the plant exposes sharp thorns lining its stems too. So be careful. Some of the, it's not on all the plants, or it's not as visible on all of the plants that I've grown, but some of them are sharper than others. It may have to do with the variety as well. So those thorns are shown exposed when the plant lays down to keep animals away from it. So very, very intriguing. And that the studies also in terms of the plant actually learning. So we have a smart plant. The sensitive plant could also be called the smart plant as well. So there you go, some little information there for you on the sensitive plant and why it does what it does and how it's a very smart plant. So you may have to, if you're going to have be showing this plant off, you might have to have a little talk with it to cooperate with you in terms of actually laying down like it's supposed to. You can see that this plant has done it some, but when I first got this plant before it knew me, it went shoop straight onto the, right flat onto the surface of the pot. And now it's saying, oh, we know her, she's okay. So there you go with the history of the sensitive plant. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.